Welcome to the Arts Council of Big Sky's live stream event supporting the annual Auction for the Arts. I'm Katie Alvine.
And I'm Brian Hurlbut.
And we're here to celebrate with you on this wonderful evening after a fantastic week of great auction activity.
It's been a great week here at the Lone Peak Cinema, where we're broadcasting live right now.
And we have transformed the space into a remarkable gallery so that people near and far could identify with and experience live art and hung art and sculpture and all kinds of things.
I think we've actually had more than 250 people come through the space this week and look at over more than 90 pieces of art.
Which is amazing. And not only that, but we've already sold 28 pieces through our Buy It Now function, which is really amazing. Make that 29.
29, all right, another piece.
That's fantastic.
We'd also like to recognize we have 12 Big Sky artists in this auction, which is astounding. It just goes to show you the level of talent we have right here in our hometown.
That's right. We'd like to give a big shout out to Big Sky Sotheby's International Real Estate for being our presenting sponsor for this year yet again. They are longtime friends of ours, and they make this whole thing happen, which is amazing.
A big thank you to Kathy Gorman and Tim Sear for supporting the Arts Council again this year.
They're great friends. Tonight, we're here to highlight some of our featured artists. We couldn't have a live auction like we usually do. And in lieu of that, we've taken the opportunity to feature some special pieces by people that have been artists in our event for several years. And tonight, we'll bring out some of those pieces and watch little videos and hear them talk about these pieces. And in the meantime, we're going to talk about why we're here and what we're actually raising money for.
Well, as you know, this event is our only fundraiser, a dedicated fundraiser for the Arts Council throughout the year. So this is a major source of funding for us, and we use the money to support the programs that we do here at the Arts Council.
What kind of programs are that?
Well, we have a lot of programs here, as you know. Three main areas of focus: events, public art, and education.
Well, tell us a little bit more about the events, Brian.
Well, we have a lot of events. Many of you are familiar with our Music in the Mountains program. It happens every summer, except for last summer. And that's our most popular outdoor program in the summertime. We also have the Bravo Big Sky Classical Music Festival. We have our Schwer Topher Memorial Fund concerts. We have some winter events. And we have our popular mountain film and Big Sky event every September.
It's pretty crazy.
It is.
Well, we also do a lot of public art. And in case you haven't noticed, we've got several new sculptures around town. In the past couple years, we've installed the Deborah Butterfield horse just down the street at the Town Center Plaza. We have Waldazo, everybody's favorite bison, over in the Town Center Fire Pit Park. We also have 3 Jim Dolan sculptures at different trailheads around town.
Four Jim Dolans.
Oh my goodness, I can't even keep up. But we also have 2 new sculptural installations going on in the next probably 1 to 2 years. One of them will be right in the roundabout by Roxy's, and that piece we are currently funding or raising funds for. Right. And we have another piece that's going in that's completed and will be installed in the Base Community Center.
And don't forget about our popular utility box wraps. We did 2 wraps this year, which featured student artwork from around Montana, which was really cool.
Yeah, and those wraps are all around town. We have more than 50 at this point, and it's a great way to feature emerging artists and young artists as well.
It is. And then we have our education programs, and we got to give a big shout out to our education director, Megan Bicking.
Hi, Megan.
She's also doing the tech support tonight. If you have an issue and you make a phone call, you'll get Megan on the phone. Hopefully we won't have to do that, but she is available. And our education programs feature things like our artist in residence programs at the local schools. We have our popular art venture program, which is year-round and hits every student at the public school here in Big Sky, as well as some students at Discovery Academy. We have our adult art workshops. We have kids art classes. We do school outreach programs like Discover Dance and Mountain Film in the schools. So we really are doing a lot of education outreach program within the community, and we're really excited about the future of that program.
And one of the things that we'll talk to you about tonight, too, is the fact that we will soon be moving into the Base Community Center, where we will be able to offer all kinds of new education programs and really expand. One of our limiting factors has always been not having enough space to offer the programs that we want to do. So this is going to be a game changer for us. We're super excited about that.
We are, and we're hoping to move into the Base Center in about a year from, well, actually December of 2021, we're hoping to move in.
That's great. Yeah. Now, you might ask, how have we been doing all of these things during a pandemic? And we asked ourselves that pretty much every day this past year. But we do have a little highlight reel to show you some of our, successes and some of the ways that we've worked hard to try to serve you this past year, and hopefully you'll enjoy that.
2, 3, 4.
And welcome back. We are getting ready to start talking about some of our featured artists tonight. Before we do that, I want to alert you to the fact that if you are still interested in bidding, you can scan the QR code that's in the corner of our screen here and log on to our system. And all of these pieces, except for the ones that have sold, of course, are still available for bidding until 9:30 tonight.
And we are getting real-time updates on the bidding. For example, we just had a bid come through on Ryan Turner's piece.
Awesome.
Big Sky's most well-known artists.
So when you see us scanning here, we're just kind of keeping up to date on what's happening here. This first piece that we're going to talk about, though, is Amber Blazina's beautiful wolf. This is called Seeking Solitude, and it is on linen and done in oil. And Amber was one of our artists that came here and painted during our live preview cocktail parties this last week. And she is such a kind-hearted, beautiful artist, and we're just thrilled to have her in our auction again.
I think this is the third year she's been in the auction, and every year she just continues to up the bar for what she does for us. So
absolutely.
This piece is stunning.
So let's take a look at Amber's message to us about this piece and about her involvement with the Arts Council.
Hello, Big Sky Art Council auction patrons. My name is Amber Blazina. I am here in Belgrade, Montana. I'm a lifelong resident of Montana. I actually grew up in eastern Montana on a farm, and I was really close to nature and wildlife and the landscape. And one animal that I'm not so close to that has been really interesting to paint and kind of get into their mind as much as a human can is the gray wolf. So this is only the second one that I've done. It is 40 inches by 30 inches. It's turning out pretty darn cool. A little late, but This will be on display. It looks darker than it really is. In real life, I think that it will be on display up in Big Sky for everybody to look at all the different paintings. There, that's the right color. A little bit lighter. Anyway, I love the Big Sky Art Council. They do such amazing things. Some of our art is on the electric boxes around town, in the village. I love the council because they bring art to everybody in this valley. Anyway, enjoy the snow. Thank you.
Cut.
All right. Well, that was a really great presentation by Amber.
Thanks, Amber.
And up next, we have a great painting by Julie T. Chapman, called Remember Me Beautiful. And again, Julie has been with us for every auction we've done. This is the 9th auction for the arts we have, and I believe she's been present for every one. And she just, much like Amber, each year gives us something new that's just really, really impressive. So thanks, Julie, if you're watching, for participating again. This is a really, really neat piece. And I think we have a video of Julie kind of talking about the piece coming up.
Hi, I'm Julie Chapman. My studio is located in the foothills outside of Missoula, Montana. I am currently working in a mixed media series, which usually means chalk, charcoal, acrylic, and oil, in what I'm calling a disrupted realism fashion. The disrupted realism approach allows me to express my deep emotion about our treatment of one another, our planet, and our fellow travelers on this fragile arc. We are living in a time of historic challenge and change. As an artist, I feel compelled to tell stories about this in my work. My painting for the Big Sky Auction for the Arts is mixed media on a 30 by 30 panel. The background abstract painting includes mandalas rendered in metallic silver, gold, and copper paint. For me, mandalas signify something whole and spiritual, especially with their circular nature, like the circle of life. They echo the roundness of the forms in a bear, and they allude to the mystery of what it is like to be a bear. The title of the piece is Remember Me Beautiful, number 2. And this comes from the title of a Brandy Clark song that was written for the NPR 2020 Song Project. It seems apt for the uncertainty that of the future that our large predators face.
I just love that. I love the way she talks about how important these species are that she paints and pays attention to, and it just really makes me think about how art can be used to do so much more besides just paint something that's pretty.
Absolutely.
I really love that.
Absolutely.
This is another amazing example of that.
This
George
piece is
Hill.
special.
Oh my gosh. This is not a photograph. This is an oil painting, and this is absolutely amazing. This piece in particular is called Unwavered, and it is an amazing realistic portrayal of a brown trout. I don't know about you, but I just still, even sitting right next to it, cannot believe that it's actually oil paint.
Well, and this is the second year that George has participated in the auction.
That's right.
And we sort of discovered him last year, and he was really popular. And when we first saw his paintings, we just were all blown away that it wasn't a photo. Because
That's right.
It's so realistic. The attention to detail is just incredible.
Absolutely. And we've got another video from George here, and you'll learn a little bit about why he loves so much to paint the fish. And yeah, I can really identify with what he has to say about this. So listen.
Hi everyone, George Hill, and this is my latest trout painting. I was inspired by a fish I caught this fall, and it's 30 by 48 inches. I find fish to be pretty irresistible as a subject matter. They have a lot going on that make them very challenging yet rewarding to depict on canvas. They have this wonderful glow and shimmer here and a wet sort of glossy feel. I try and capture that in most of my paintings, playing different color intensities, more intense, vibrant colors off of more sort of subdued and neutral colors to help that kind of glow and shimmer. I like to paint them in sort of this portraiture style, sort of give them a sense of reverence and respect for the creatures. They are very precious and we need to look after them. Their presence is sort of indicative of healthy ecosystems, so in a sense they're kind of an indicator species. And anyone who's ever caught one and stood in a river and held one of these jewels in their hand just knows how precious and beautiful they are to marvel. So we can't take that with us. It's a very ephemeral, sort of fleeting moment. We can capture it on a camera. It doesn't really do it justice, but if I can put that on a canvas with oil paint, you can have that feeling every time you look at it without actually being on the river. This is my second year participating in this auction. Format's a little bit different this year, but it's all right. It was a great event last year, but I know it's going to be another good one. And I just want to say thank you for having me participate, and I'm honored and happy bidding.
So,
Yeah.
Jackson.
All right. Well, that's George, and he actually came to Big Sky last year for the auction. We had a chance to meet him and talk with him, and he's just a super nice guy, loves fishing, and is an amazing painter.
Very inspiring.
Yeah. Before we get to the next one, I just want to give a quick shout out to Jericho Studios,
Oh, yes.
who many of you know for our Music in the Mountains. They do all the sound and light production. We have them here tonight doing all the back of house TV production tonight, which is a different thing for us. So excited to have you guys. Thank you for being here. Our next artist is a new artist to Big Sky, really, and the art auction. He's a Jackson Hole-based photographer, David Hooper. He has this amazing piece here called Big Chief Going Home. This is a large piece. It's 40 by 60 and is just a really stunning photograph of a nighttime shot with this illuminated teepee. And David is showing his work at the Courtney Collins Fine Art Gallery, one of our gallery partners here for the Auction for the Arts. And we're excited to have him on board this year.
It's fantastic. This current photograph that we have here does not have any bids on it. And we are rallying you right now to get after it, because it would be a real shame to see this thing go back where it came from.
And I think it's printed on aluminum.
It is. This is a metal aluminum, and it is obviously a large format, and actually kind of easily hung, I think.
Yeah. It's a very, very cool piece that you can put anywhere in your space.
Yeah, and dramatic. And we've got a really cool video from him. He kind of did his own little production about this piece in particular, and also his, I guess, the method to his madness.
Yeah, it's a cool video. Let's take a look.
Oh, that's so fun.
Pretty cool.
I love seeing like the lengths that they go to make those dramatic shots. It's really cool.
Yeah, you see the photo and you're not sure how much it takes to do it, but it's a lot of work that goes into
Yeah,
it.
it's not just luck.
That's right.
So our next artist here is Tabby Ivy, and this piece is called Winter Sonata. It's a beautiful piece. This has been super popular this year, and you can see why. And I hope that you really can get a good look at just all of the different layers of paint on here and the technique that she uses. In her video, you'll see she's sitting in front of this canvas before she had done any of the overwork, and it's just really cool to see the work in progress.
I really like the color tones in this painting. It's been really popular. The current bid is at $3,200. It really, I think, goes well with sort of the design elements that is kind of popular in Big Sky right now, sort of that mountain modern aesthetic.
That's right.
And it's a very, very cool piece, and we're excited to have Tabby back here in Big Sky for the auction. I think last year was her first year, if I'm not mistaken.
Mm-hmm.
So I guess let's take a look at the video and find out more about her process.
Sounds good.
Hello, my name is Tabby Ivy. I live in Big Fork, Montana. I'm a contemporary landscape artist, and my chosen medium is oils. The painting that is in the auction this year is called Winter Sonata. It's obviously a winter scene, and it was inspired from my view out of my studio in Big Fork on a snowy, lovely, quiet, silent winter's day. I had been in the studio painting all day. It had been snowing all day long. And I looked out the window. I saw whiteness. I saw beauty. I saw stillness. And that's what I chose to paint. Just a couple words about how I approach painting. I try to paint more the emotion of what caused me to stop and consider a scene. I paint in a tonalist style, which is a limited palette, a simple composition. And it's not so much being literal to the place, but true to the emotion of what I'm trying to convey. And hopefully that's what comes through to the viewer, that allows the viewer to find their own place within the painting for a bit of quiet, a bit of contemplation, or just a place to be able to hang out for a little while. I would like to thank the Arts Council of Big Sky for inviting me again this year. I also participated in last year's auction, but I so support the work they do, especially the public art programs, their educational programs, especially their educational programs for children. I think arts education at a very young age is a very important thing to have in our culture. I would also like to thank you, the patrons and supporters of the Arts Council of Big Sky. It's through your support that the organization is able to do the programming and the arts education within the community that is so very important. So thank you so much for your participation tonight. I wish we could be there together, but we'll do that again sometime, I hope. And good luck with your bidding, and I wish everyone a very successful auction tonight. Thanks so much for inviting me.
Thanks, Tabby. I don't think we could have said it better ourselves.
I know, that was really sweet.
That was really awesome.
Well, our next piece is, I would say, one of the veterans of our auction for the arts event. I think Harry has been here since the beginning. Harry Koyama, he's a Billings-based painter. I would say he's probably one of Montana's most recognizable painters. His pieces are just so beautiful, the colors, and when you see one on a wall, you know it's a Koyama.
Oh, it's a Koyama for sure.
And he's super popular here in Big Sky, and he's just a really great patron of the arts, and he's always supported the Arts Council. And if you've ever had a chance to meet him, he's just the nicest man as well.
Yes, we had a lot of fun picking this piece out. He gave us a few things to pick from, and we all just kept drawing to this one and standing at it and looking at it, and it's just charming in so many ways. And again, there's a lot of depth and a lot of color layering happening that makes it so interesting to look at. So we're really excited about this piece.
And it's a scene that you might see in Big Sky.
That's right.
Something like that, a bear and two cubs.
That's for sure.
Yeah. So Harry has made a nice little video for us, so why don't we take a look at that video?
Hi, I'm Harry Koyama, and I'm coming to you from my studio and gallery in the historic district of downtown Billings, Montana. I grew up an hour east of Billings, and I have been in Montana all my life. The reason that I like to participate in the auction for the arts is mainly because of the contribution that the Arts Council of Big Sky makes to the cultural growth of not only Big Sky, but the Montana community as well. It's one of the most prestigious auction events in the state, and the reason for that, of course, being the caliber of artists that participate and the quality of the art. That being said, this year's auction piece that I am going to be contributing is entitled Spring Grizzlies, and it's here behind me here. It measures 24 by 36 inches, and it was painted oil on birchwood panel. All my paintings are done with painting knives, and they are also all done on birchwood panel, which is fairly unique, but really an age-old process. The painting itself is a typical Koyama painting, having the crimson backgrounds and the grizzly bear wildlife motif. So with that being said, I hope you enjoy the auction and can find it in your hearts to contribute to this great event. Thank you.
Thanks.
All right. Thanks, Harry, for that very nice description of that painting. It was a beautiful, beautiful, beautiful piece.
You can just hear how charming he is.
Yes.
So we're going to take a little break here because now is the time for us to do our virtual paddle call. This year, our Fund a Need is for our base programming. As we mentioned, we're going to be moving into the Base Community Center at the end of this year. And starting at the beginning of next year, 2022, which is almost impossible to imagine, we are going to be launching a whole new set of programming and educational offerings. It's kind of an amazing situation because in that center, we've got a whole wing that's dedicated to the arts and culture. Our offices will be there. We've got a dedicated art classroom that will be basically in charge of programming. And then there's a multi-purpose room that we'll also be able to use for all kinds of other events.
So we're really excited to ramp up our education offerings. We're talking kids programs, adult classes, and one thing we're really excited about is we are going to have a pottery studio in the Base Center. So no more driving to Bozeman for pottery classes for kids and adults. It's going to be really exciting. And just to have our office in the Base Center, to have more visibility for the Arts Council. It's also adjacent to the renamed Len Hill Park, which is the home of Music in the Mountains. And this summer, hopefully, we'll be gathering in the park, and it's a completely redesigned park with a new green space, kind of more of a bowl lake-like amphitheater. So it's really going to create a nice campus for the arts and culture here in Big Sky.
That's right. So we're raising money not just for the ability to do these programs, but to give us more of the capacity so that we can hire people to come in and offer these programs and to make them affordable and accessible to everyone. Most of our programs are free and many of them are low cost. And that's because people like you donate and support what we do, and we couldn't be more grateful.
And we want to make sure that the programs we do in the Base Center are going to be affordable for everybody in Big Sky, because it truly is a community center.
That's right. Our goal tonight is $25,000, and so far we are 35% of the way there. We have raised $8,860, and we're hoping that tonight you'll take this opportunity to donate and help us support all of our educational programs and our presence at the Base Center.
I also want to mention that this, even though it's a year away or 8 months away, we are hard at work already planning what we're going to do in the Base Center. Megan, our education director, is working on potential classes and instructors and what we can really offer to the Big Sky community. So this is happening. We're really excited about it, and we hope that you will support it, because it's going to be a game changer, not only for the Arts Council, but for the entire Big Sky community.
That's right. So we mentioned that despite the pandemic, we were able to actually pull off a lot of educational programs. And we've got a clip right now that'll show you just some highlights and maybe give you an idea of what we can do in this new space. We'll run that clip right now.
Enjoy.
Come on, clap your hands, everybody. Come on, clap your hands, everybody. Yeah. Come on, sing. Everything's gonna be alright. Like Bob Marley say, wake up and we start to praise. How we start the day, we fall from faith. fake, just jaws of clay. Everybody come and walk this way. And yo, we'll let him hear. Let go of all your stress and fear. And yo, I'm trying to have the best this year. Your blessings near, yeah. So let's be clear. Everything's gonna be alright. Life is short, it ain't lasting long. So I'm rapping strong until the passion's gone. And leave a legacy and pass batons. And when I'm passing on, remember me, yo, and blast this song. Come on.
Every day
Come
we
on.
get up and fight.
Hey.
We choose to be the light.
Everything gonna be alright. Come on. Everything gonna be alright. Yeah.
What I was sent to
Come
do.
on. Yeah.
Don't be blinded. Get closer to
Yeah.
God. In a tight situation.
Come on.
Everything gonna be
You know we go through a hard time, especially in 2020. We gotta keep hope alive, you know? We gotta look forward and know that everything's gonna be alright. Yeah. We gotta enjoy life today. That's what it's all about. Come on. Yeah.
Wow, that's really cool. And I got to say, one of the best parts about that video is the music, which was done by Superman. And if you don't know him, he's a Native American rapper from the Crow Agency, I believe. And we had the great fortune to have him in Big Sky this fall for 2 full days in the Big Sky Elementary, or the Big Sky High School, I guess, and middle school. And he worked with students, he did a performance, and he's just a really inspiring person that really makes you believe in the power of the arts.
And your support will, of course, help us continue bringing amazing people like that to this town to connect us with the greater Montana culture.
Yeah, and it's a great way for the kids here in Big Sky to get out of the Big Sky area and see what else is out there and really get some great culture.
That's right.
So next up, we have one of our favorite pieces
I love this
here at the Auction of the Arts. And we did just see it sold.
Oh, yes, it sold. This just literally sold in the last
just bought it.
10 minutes.
And we're going to mention this for a few reasons. One, when this came in to the office, we were all just really blown away when we hung it on the wall, because we had seen pictures of it, but when we put it on the wall and put some light on it, it really just was stunning, and certainly it's become one of the most popular pieces here at the auction. The great thing is we have another David Mensing piece that is also in the auction, which is just as stunning. And the colors, if you're familiar with the palette knife medium, the texture is just really, really amazing. And David has been in Big Sky before. He's done some workshops here with the Arts Council. He's one of our supporters and instructors, so it's great to have him in the auction again. And he has a great video about his process that we're going to watch right now. Thanks, David, for that great video
Very inspiring.
and beautiful artwork for this year's auction.
Our next piece almost needs no introduction. Kevin Redstar is an amazing artist who's been with us again for many years.
Many years. Always one of the most popular artists and arguably one of Montana's most famous painters.
For sure, for sure. This piece here is called Crow Scouts, and we do have active bidding on this piece. This would be an amazing addition to anybody's collection. This is truly a collector piece, without a doubt. Kevin Redstar is currently in several museums, including the Smithsonian and the Denver Art Museum and the Heard Museum and
the Russell in Great Falls,
the Whitney Museum of Art. I mean, this is a big deal.
Yeah, and this is one of my favorite pieces that I've seen from him. This is just a stunning piece. The colors, very subdued, but yet just pop out of the canvas. And
I don't know if you can get in there and zoom in and see some of the layering that happens there, but it's he has this way of creating these iconic sort of figures, but at the same time, there's a lot of detail and depth in them, and so they don't look quite so comical, but more just real. I don't know. He's just got such a knack of portraying, I don't know, the history and the scene with Native American culture.
And I think this is one of those pieces that when we hung on the wall in the cinema space, just really jumped out of the room and really made the room come alive.
Yeah, for sure. We all spent a lot of time just kind of looking at it, which, you know, to me, that really says a lot about a piece of art. I can't stop looking at it right now.
It's really cool. And Kevin has a great video that he's done that really captures the essence of what he does as a Montana artist. So let's take a look.
We artists are very different. Like there's things that excite us that any normal person wouldn't even consider. You look at composition, you look at balance, you look at just the thought, how can this work for me? I was in the contemporary world, in the museums and galleries, you know, these big cities and such, but I kind of longed. Montana is a place where you can still walk, go hiking and not run into anybody. Being Crow Indian, I want to carry that tradition and imply that with our, you know, symbologies, with our designs and our lifestyles, and not in such a realistic way like some artists would. So I was able to come up with this particular style that I felt comfortable with. I can change, I can be more tight, I can be more realistic, but I still want to have some element of the Crow Indianness, the design. Even before you prepare a canvas, the thought and the idea is there. Today, I feel like horses. Should they be in a meadow, the hills, or with a beautiful mountain backdrop? Every day is exciting for new thoughts and new ideas. Just taking a walk outside my studio here, it's not very far. There's a nice little trail there, and I go there just to get inspiration. I imagine sometimes I can see a setting, perhaps a village was there at one time. It's like a musician thinking about this melody in his mind, you know, and he finally grabs a guitar. He works it until he feels comfortable, and maybe he's created something he's always been thinking about. It's always exciting. That's where I say passion comes in. A lot of artists are moving to Montana. I think whoever comes here, they're going to be surprised the caliber of art that we have. I wouldn't want to live anywhere else in Montana. It's beautiful. You can do just about anything you want here. Big Sky Country.
Ah, that smile gets me every time.
I know.
Thanks, Kevin. I hope you're watching.
And up next, we have an artist that's fairly new to Big Sky, but we've become very familiar with him. His name is Brad Rood. He is a sculptor based in Walla Walla, Washington. And Katie and I actually had a chance to go to his studio about 2 years ago and check it out and see how he operates. And it's an amazing, actually probably one of the coolest artist studios I've ever been in.
Absolutely, absolutely. He is amazing. And he does these really whimsical pieces that are unexpected in a variety of ways. And he'll talk a little bit about this piece in particular, but you can see things like this mule is both standing on a boulder and has one leg on a stick. And that's, of course, not something you would ordinarily see, but it's the kind of thing that if you had in your home would probably remind you to, I don't know, take things more lightly and, I don't know, just be creative. And I know we can hear Brad talk about it too.
And this is the second year that he's participated in the art auction. We're very happy to have him participating again because he's a great guy, he's a great sculptor, and I think he's an artist that we're going to be seeing a lot of in Big Sky.
Yeah, we're really kind of hoping, crossing our fingers, that we might have Brad Rood's sculpture in one of our public installations sometime soon too.
Yes, we can hope.
Yeah, but for now, let's take a look at what he has to say about this piece in general.
Hello, my name is Brad Rood, and I live in Walla Walla, Washington, and I'm a Montana native, and I'm here in my studio, and I'd like to talk about the piece a little bit. It's titled Going Forward. It's cast in bronze. It's a 1 of 1, a unique cast, no addition number, and it portrays a mule, which is one of my favorite animals because they're tough and they're hard workers. A lot of my work talks about the journey of life, and this composition is a classic example of that, where it shows that transition from one place to another, and it also shows the confidence that this particular character has as he's going forward. Thanks. Bye.
Oh, that's so great. So fun to see Brad again.
Yeah, and you really get an idea in there of what his studio kind of looks like. It's very eclectic, just a really neat space.
Yeah, that's for sure. So our next piece here is Aspen Shadows by Greg Scheibel, and this is another one of those pieces that sort of captivated us when it came in, and we got it hung on the walls. Again, one of the artists that we feature here that really knows how to work with light and nature, and it's just amazing. This piece is really, really beautiful.
I got to say, I'm a sucker for the aspen paintings.
Yeah, for sure.
They just always kind of blow me away, and this one is really, really spectacular. And Greg has been in Big Sky before. He has taught some, I believe, a plein air workshop for the Arts Council a couple years ago, and he's a super nice guy. And he's got a great video here of his studio. It's a really neat studio that he paints in I think in Colorado.
Ooh, gosh. That
Shouldn't say that, I'm not sure, but really nice piece. We're thankful for him to be in the auction this year, and let's take a look at the video that Greg produced.
Hello, this is Greg Scheibel, and I'm coming to you from my home studio in Bozeman, Montana, and I am happy to be participating again this year in the Arts Council Big Sky's Auction for the Arts. I don't have the painting here. I've already delivered it to Big Sky, but you can see it online through their website, or I believe February 22nd at the Lone Peaks Cinema. I do have a few examples of my work here, which I can give you a real quick studio tour. I'm primarily a landscape painter, although I do quite a bit of different subject matter also, and do a lot of these small studies, many on site, but in the studio here too. Especially on days like today when it's below zero. I mean, this is my outdoor painting rig, which is kind of parked until it warms up a little bit. As you can see, it's pretty chilly outside. So this is my studio setup where I paint, and hopefully next year we can all be together at Big Sky for an in-person event again. And I encourage everyone to, participate and spend some money and support the Arts Council and the artists. Thank you.
One of my favorite things about that, he has a pool table and a guitar in his studio. And I should correct it. Greg lives in Bozeman, not Colorado. So, some people might confuse Bozeman with Colorado.
These days, that's for sure.
Anyway, our next piece is from Tracy Spence, right here in Big Sky. And Tracy is also on the board of the Arts Council of Big Sky.
Yeah, welcome, Tracy.
Yeah. And she is just an amazing photographer. And this is the second year that we've had her in the art auction, I believe. And last year, her piece was the highest selling piece in the auction.
That's right. It was amazing. And I hope that some of you have been able to come into the theater space here to our pop-up gallery and see a couple of these pieces. As you can tell, they are dramatic. This piece here is printed on more, this is glass, isn't it?
I believe so.
Yeah. But this is more of a glossy finish. And it is just absorbing. When you stand in front of it or alongside of it here, it draws you in. One of my favorite things when we were looking at her pieces and selecting from them is the composition on this piece. You've got the road going back and these two converging hillsides, the mountain ridge. It's just the drama of the sky. There's so much here to look at. I just absolutely love it.
What I love about photos like this is we've all been driving around Montana, and how many times have we said, "Oh, I wish I had a picture of that," or some dramatic scene that you see like that. And here it is, right here. It's this amazing photograph that's large format, really, really draws your eye in any room.
That actually makes me think this would be a fantastic piece if you've got a home in another place too, to bring home with you and help remind you of what Montana's like. I don't know.
Yeah, it's great. And I think we have a great video from Tracy.
That's right.
Hi, I'm Tracy Spence. I'm a photographer, and I am inspired and love to play out in nature. It's my playground. And my biggest inspiration is creating artwork that reminds us all that we're spiritual beings, and there is beauty in everything. There is wonderment in everything. And when I create a piece that brings awe to someone, I know that I've done my purpose with that art. So thank you so much for visiting, and thank you so much for supporting Big Sky Arts.
Okay, thanks, Tracy. And we actually have two pieces from Tracy this year. And this other piece is, I would say, like a signature piece from her. Her photographs of horses are just world-renowned, and this piece is no different. This piece is called Agrippas, and right now there is no bid on this piece. It is a Divachrome with natural wood floating frame, and it's 40 by 60. And this one, what really gets me on this one is the light off the horse's mane there. Mm-hmm. It's just incredible to see in person.
Another thing that I really love about this one is the eyes. I feel like she captures, when she takes these pictures of horses, she captures their eyes in a way that's just captivating and really, I don't know, it just takes the standard horse photograph to another level.
Yeah, it really does. And the detail's just amazing. So,
yeah. This piece, in fact, is from Tracy's personal collection. They're currently doing some home remodeling, and she had it set aside and was going to hang it in her own home. And out of her own kindness, decided to offer it for our auction. So not only is this an amazing piece by an acclaimed photographer, but it's one of her personal favorites too. So you could have this in your home.
So thanks, Tracy, for participating again this year. We hope you're watching. And I think we have another photographer on deck.
We do. At this time, I'm going to give a little shout out to Claire Thayer and Matt Lydens, our art handlers tonight. Thank you very much. You guys have been doing awesome.
They haven't dropped one yet.
Crossing our fingers. They're going to bring up our next piece here, too. We also have China Reavers, and China is our newest employee at the Arts Council. She just started just about 2 months ago, and really hit the ground running as our events coordinator with this event. And we're really grateful to have her on the team. It's been super fun working with her. So this is the last piece, I believe, that we are featuring.
It is.
Yeah, this is Ryan Turner, hometown favorite. And Ryan Turner is another one of our fantastic photographers that we're featuring in this show. This is a new piece that he has called Onward. This is the first edition out of 25 that he'll be producing of this print. And it is, as you can see, a really dramatic expression of a bison. This is not your ordinary bison photograph. And I kind of love that. I love how, again, this is about composition and contrast and, not just about a bison standing in a field, which is kind of refreshing.
It is. And I think this is just a great print by Ryan. It's been really fun to watch Ryan develop as an artist. We all know about his action sports photography in magazines like Powder and Outside and other publications like that, which are incredible as well, but his fine art photography has really been taken to another level. And since we started featuring him in the live auction a few years ago, his pieces have just been super popular, and this one is no different. The bidding is at $2,100 already, and this is just a really great piece.
Yeah, and just along those lines, one of the things we love to do with this event, we didn't mention it before, but this is not a secondary auction. This is a primary auction. The proceeds from these art sales go to the artists, and they are kind enough to share some of those proceeds with the Arts Council to help us raise money. So this is benefiting not just the Arts Council, but the artists. And that's really important to us. One of the things that Ryan told us a couple years ago is he took this opportunity at the art auction to try something different with one of his photographs. Some of you might remember he had that awesome fox photo.
Fox photo, yeah.
And it was just, everybody was like amazed at this cool photo. And he was like, wow, it was something new that I tried. And I had this opportunity to test it out. And turns out it was a really great idea. So we love partnering with our artists and giving them that opportunity to grow.
And again, he's one of 12 artists that we feature here from Big Sky that live here in Big Sky and work here in Big Sky. So, this event really is about supporting local artists.
And letting them stand alongside people like Tom Gillian and Kevin Red Star and Harry Koyama.
Absolutely.
And it's really kind of a cool experience, I think.
It is, yeah.
Yeah.
So I think we have a short video from Ryan that he shot right here in his Big Sky studio. Let's take a look.
Hi, I'm Ryan Turner. I'm an artist here in Big Sky, Montana. I would love to thank the Arts Council of Big Sky for putting together the art auction for 2021. It's my pleasure to be in it again this year. They've always done so much for us artists and the art community here in Big Sky, Montana. This is going to be my new print in the auction this year. It is called Onward, and it is a print on metal. I hope you all get a chance to see it. I love it a ton, and I hope you do too. Enjoy. Thanks a lot.
All right, thanks, Ryan. And we have to give a special shout out to one of our featured artists, Carrie Wild, based in Jackson Hole. And her piece has sold. It was one of the most popular pieces in the auction. And we just want to say thank you to Carrie for participating again. And we look forward to her piece next year because it's always a stunner.
And one other shout out, Kira Furco also has been in our auction for several years. And she had a piece, and she was also one of our featured artists. And her piece, I think, was one of the first.
I think it sold on the very first day of bidding.
Yeah, somebody snapped that thing up right straight out of the chute. So, yeah, thanks for participating also, Kira. At this time, we are at the end. We made it.
We did.
Oh my gosh. We want to definitely take a moment to thank our sponsors again. Our presenting sponsor, as in past years also, is Big Sky Sotheby's Real Estate. We also have 2 associate sponsors, Agnes Verano Weddings and Events, and Leslie Largay of Guaranteed Rate. Our supporting sponsor for the second year is Blue Ribbon Builders. Hi, Jodine and Doug. Thanks for coming to the table again this year. And we have a couple special thank yous to give. For anybody who saw this theater space, the transformation was unbelievable. And we had a good friend come out of the woodwork for that. Gina D just literally came to our rescue and said, let me transform this space. And she rallied a team. Gina D is with Provincial Store Fixtures, and they're working up on the montage. We have National Coatings, who is the paint contractor up there. They brought 7 people down and painted the interior of this space so that we could hang wall art on there. We also had donations from Beckwith Carmel, and we had Three Rivers Communications come in and make sure that all of this would run seamlessly, and I sure hope that it did. I'm not quite certain how it worked out there in Cyberland, but hopefully it worked. William Reel from A Realistic Creation did this beautiful faux gold wall in the other space too. Oh, and the flowers. We have these beautiful flowers that were donated, and oh goodness, I don't
They're
have the
from
card here.
Rosewood Atelier.
Yes, Rosewood Atelier in Bozeman. And we didn't even know these flowers were coming. And one day the florist walked in and dropped them off because of our friend Gina making a contact. So thank you for that too.
We also want to give a special shout out to our gallery partners, Julie Gustafson at the Gallatin River Gallery here in Big Sky, as well as Courtney Collins with Courtney Collins Fine Art. Both were a tremendous help in helping us set up and getting new artists and really working with the Arts Council in making this a special event.
Absolutely. And we wouldn't be in this space if it weren't for TNG LLC, our friend John Romney. And he basically said, do what you want with this space. I'm going to be remodeling it anyway. And the best part about that is they've got a whole new reimagined idea for this space as a venue. And the Arts Council is going to be partnering with them to create new things for you. So yeah, we're super excited about that.
And one more shout out too for Gina D, who helped decorate the space. Gina also got about 25 young artists from the Big Sky community to paint, and those paintings were on display in the lobby of the cinema space. And those paintings are going to be moved over to the Rocks bar and restaurant over in the town center, where they're going to be on display and available for purchase, and all of the proceeds will go to the local food bank. So that's a really cool extension of the arts auction this year.
Yeah, absolutely. So starting March 1st on Monday, go to the Rocks, check out the paintings, and bid against me on a couple of those pieces. I'm after them.
So I think we have a few things we want to mention, just sort of logistical things. If you have purchased a piece of art, the art is going to be available for pickup this Monday and Tuesday at the cinema.
That's right.
And if you need the artwork shipped to you, Clausen Services from Bozeman is going to be handling all the shipping this year. And I believe you'll be, there's a link that you'll get if you need to ship that you can fill out online and make all those details.
That's right. Also, if you are bidding online and you've entered a credit card, but you would rather use a check or write a check, we're happy to do that. We don't automatically bill everybody right at the end of the auction, so there's a little bit of time. So just contact us if you want to make different arrangements for payment.
And speaking of bidding, the bidding closes tonight at 9:30. And there is a little caveat there if you want to explain that.
Oh yeah, we do have a feature set up so that if you are actively bidding on something and somebody is sitting there waiting to bid at 9:29:59, if they make a bid and you are also actively bidding, you will get alerted, and there is a small grace period during which you can also bid. So that prevents people from, kind of lurking at the table and signing their names at the last minute, so to speak. So be aware of that. If you don't want to bid anymore, you just stop bidding, and during that 5-minute grace period, the bidding will go to the winner.
And I guess we should also thank all of our board members and volunteers who helped us put together this auction, because it does take a team of people to put something like this together.
Absolutely. Please stay tuned to your local social media and news outlets, because we will be doing a massive thank you to everybody involved.
And it's really been a fun event this year, pandemic notwithstanding. So thank you so much for participating. And good luck on the last bids.
That's right. Get out there and rally.
And also the paddle raise. The paddle raise will be available till 9:30 as well. And right now we're
we had
almost
another 1,000.
40% there of our goal. So thank you to all those who have donated. And I guess that's about it.
Yeah. Thanks so much, and you all have a fantastic evening. Thanks so much for supporting the arts.
Good night.